Welcome to the Slow Speed Studio with your special guest host, John Trainor, your official Zone 2 training partner.
Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, where art accelerates business, design drives performance, and we explore the culture of speed with athletes, business leaders, and creatives who define it. Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, episode 121, in the last of the year.
121.
Nikki and Chad, your hosts, and we have a really exciting guest today.
It's mid-holiday week.
It is, but we're working.
In between Christmas and New Year's.
I don't like when people take off the whole, the Christmas week and the New Year's week, because it really disrupts the schedule and it disrupts the habits and the consistencies that you kind of get going throughout the year. And then all of a sudden it's just like this roadblock to getting anything done.
Well, then you are really struggling because that's what people do now.
I am really struggling. I was talking about my friend Maddie, and she was like, I just want everything to get back to normal so we can get into routine again.
Exactly. So we can get stuff done.
Exactly. But we are in the studio working this week and getting stuff done. So today on the podcast, we have a recurring guest, our most recurring guest ever, and a fan favorite, John Trainor, the previous CTO of Wahoo Fitness. We all know and love Wahoo Fitness, and now he is with a fintech company called Four out of Miami. So now we also share the love for Miami.
Yeah, yet another thing we have in common with John.
So we put a lot of effort into our predictions this year. I think a lot more than last year's predictions.
You and Trainer for sure.
I mean, we really dug deep into a lot of
They
stuff.
had notes, people.
We had notes, and I will say a lot of it is around AI, which might not surprise some of you, and it might surprise some of you. But I find it extremely fascinating.
A lot of AI talk, but a lot of sports talk, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
As you would normally get on the SpeedStudio podcast.
Yeah, so we won't do a full, intro like we normally do, but it is holiday season.
We did see Marty Supreme, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Marty Supreme was really good. I think it's just it's a great movie to see going into the new year because it's inspirational.
It is.
So couldn't recommend that more. We had a small SpeedStudio gathering for some of our members, little bottle share on Sunday. That was a good time. And now we're just ready to kick off the new year.
And Nikki is going to be doing UTMB Puerto Vallarta.
Yes. Chad got me as a Christmas present. It's funny. I was telling someone about this and they were like, that's a weird Christmas present to sign someone up for a 37K in Mexico. And I'm like, well, that's actually just kind of how we are. Cause I was so excited when I opened it.
I was laughing about how it's like the gift of suffering.
Yeah.
Here you go, babe.
No, but I am so insanely excited because I didn't know what I was going to sign up for kind of my big goal in 2026. And not that maybe, I don't know if that'll be the biggest goal for 2026, but it'll be, the kickoff goal. And it's on my birthday, March 7th.
And we're hoping it breaks the jinx of you signing up for things
Yes.
and then something happening and not being able to go or perform or get sick or whatever.
Yeah.
So I signed you up for it, so we're breaking the jinx.
So it was good, really good, chill holiday. Got to see family, got to see friends. But we're ready. We're ready for the new year, ready to get kind of keep the ball rolling. I don't even want to say. But today's episode, I think people will find really entertaining and really interesting.
For sure. Enjoy and subscribe, share. We appreciate it.
All right. Have a happy new year.
What do you think for the intro?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Great.
right.
That was good.
When you did,
a
when
really
you did
good
your
radio
first
voice.
transition to SpeedStudio,
Yeah.
I thought to myself, well, when I'm on it,
Yeah.
it'll be the Slow Speed Studio.
That's a really good idea.
You didn't say anything about the rebrand. No comments, no commentary, no
I
message.
think it's brilliant. It makes sense.
Okay.
Why would I comment on something that is so obvious? And
thumbs up.
okay. Well, here is my selfish view of the rebrand. Okay.
Yep.
I am not fast, hence wanting to do the intro, so you knew that I was not fast. And I am great at Zone 2. So now it's my Zone 5 when I'm doing Nikki's Zone 2 or whatever. But this year was so darn impressed with who you had on. So much so that I was convinced I would never make the cut again. So I'm just excited to be here. Obviously, it's a down week. You've already given me crap for somehow messing up the dates. I have text messaging that proves that I said Tuesday. Now, I did say the week of the 22nd and blah, blah, blah. But you did send the invite, and I acknowledged it. So,
Okay.
but I think we have a shared responsibility here in that I said Tuesday.
Okay.
My fault for not looking at my calendar. You did everything right.
Yeah, okay.
But so...
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have agreed to a Tuesday if we were going to publish on the same day, because that's an issue that's been going on.
I do, but I hadn't gotten to that episode yet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, okay. So but like you had like Dr. Rachel, I could listen to her for hours.
She's amazing.
So good, right? Dan Cohen, like,
Yeah, he's really good.
He is incredible.
Yep.
Alessandro,
Alessandro Basso.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
who am I to talk after that guy has been on this podcast? Like, it's completely ridiculous that you would have me on. Or Alexi, like, you've got somebody at that level. Obviously, you have Michael a lot, but like to have Alexi. And I will say that I've given Sir Willie tummy rubs, and Sir Willie is quite possibly the best puppy that has ever existed. And don't tell my two Goldens that, but oh my gosh, Sir Willie is amazing. Yeah. I worked with Sophie and got the opportunity to give belly rubs to Sir Willie. So
yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I bet half those people, when we asked them if they've listened to our podcast, they'd be like, the guy from Wahoo, I really like that episode.
Yeah,
I'm sure
they did.
No, for real.
No,
yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
You're making that up.
So you're not only you're the first repeat guest we've ever had. Now you're the first four-peat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
You were tied for 3 with. Well, I'm not counting Michael because he comes on randomly.
Yeah. Well, he basically lives here.
But yeah, you've got Peter Mullins, Michael, and you.
Yeah.
Okay. As repeats.
Nice. Good.
So, do you know what episodes you've been?
I don't keep track of episode numbers now.
9. These are your lottery numbers.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm giving you a lot. I actually, if I had time, I'd give this away. I was going to buy a lottery ticket with these numbers on it, but it just never happened.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have done it.
I know.
like that.
I thought about it.
You know what? Fun fact.
Yeah.
My entire life, I've never played the lottery.
Well, here's your chance.
I don't know that I want to. Why would I? I haven't smoked weed or played the lottery, so why would I start now?
Because I'm giving you your lucky numbers.
I don't have anything against
You
smoking
could just
weed, by the
do
way.
those two at the same time and knock it out once and for all.
They do seem to go together.
Yeah, they do. I think so.
So you're episode 9, episode 29, episode 69, and now episode 121.
That's crazy.
It was close,
because
though.
we didn't even plan that.
I know. It could. I mean, you're within 2 weeks of being 119.
Yeah.
So that was close. Since we're talking about, I was going to save this, but since you mentioned this, since you've listened, do you have any idea who our most listened to episode of the year was? Actually, you want to give me a top 5? Like, what do you?
I don't. Come on. It's like naming your favorite kids.
Okay.
William's our favorite kid, by the way, of the 3. Just don't tell Jack and Philip.
They don't. They don't listen.
So I can't guess that. I don't. That's like impossible.
Do you know who number 1 is?
Well, what platform?
All across all platforms.
Oh, okay. So
Episode 100, Jason Stewart.
Yeah, Jason Stewart.
Oh, okay. Really? Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like double everyone
Jason
else.
Stewart.
So let's not count that. So who do you think is number 2?
Dylan Johnson.
No, not even top 5.
Johnny.
Because Johnny knows how to promote.
Yeah.
Yep, Johnny.
He did
Episode
promote it.
114.
I got a lot out of Johnny.
Really? That's
Believe
good.
it or not. Yeah, actually I did.
We
I mean,
had a
he's
lot
a-
of comments on.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
3 was Alexi.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I believe that.
4. Actually, we had 2 101s that were in top 5.
PETA.
No, 101. The
101.
the Giant
I was
episode.
going to guess PETA too. Yeah.
104.
Yeah.
Giant,
Oh.
and then Chicago Marathon was number 5.
Huh. That's interesting.
101.
Well, that's because all the ARC people listened.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
wondering. I was like, why is this one so much?
Yeah, it's because all the Atlanta Run Club people listened.
And then Cole Davis was close, number 6.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
PETA isn't higher up there.
Well, I think she's like number 7. It's like
Oh,
right
okay.
there. Like
Okay.
she had very consistent numbers, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like a huge spike.
You know what's weird is I can remember what training run I was on. You're one of the few podcasts that I can listen to while running, and I can tell you for I think every one of those where I was running when I listened to it. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like the giant one was in Denver. I was in Denver.
Huh. Yeah. That was a controversial one.
Yeah.
Was it? Did anyone like disagree with it?
Not to our face, but I'm sure they
okay.
did. Yeah.
So
All the people
controversial in
buying
your own
Giants
mind.
and Specialized and all these other brands, I'm sure disagree with it.
But back to the name change. I love what you're doing. I love what you've done with Michael. For people that came to cycling through triathlon who don't have a very strong cycling IQ, seeing him and what he's doing and the energy and life he brings to cycling is really cool. And I have a sense that Cole will complement that really well. That was my I don't know Cole, but that's my guess.
Definitely.
And I love crap like the Sea Otter to Twilight challenge. Like, who would do that? That's crazy.
Nobody.
And
Two guys.
I just think it's awesome. And maybe they're going to blow up at both or either. I don't, who knows, but I like that they're putting themselves out there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of moments like that. There's that, and then we haven't announced this to the world yet, but I guess we will. Michael's going to do the U.S. Pro National Championship in West Virginia on a Thursday. So he got fourth this year. Goal is to get on the podium in 2026. Then on Saturday, he's going to race Viacrit in London.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And the goal is for us to be at the Bassano Clubhouse for the Bosso's owner trip and then go from there to London for Viacrit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be another big kind of surreal moment. Like who does this? And hopefully people say SpeedStudio.
Heather and I hit a big jet lag moment. We were supposed to do a trail marathon, the oldest trail marathon in India. Mm-hmm. This was about 4 weeks ago. We ended up switching to the half. I did not plan the trip properly. Like with Sydney, when we did the Sydney marathon, we had 5 days or 6 days before the marathon. We were settled in, and it was fine. I did not plan the trip very well, so it was on the front end of our trip, and it's a double out and back, so you do like 6.5 miles, and then you come back and do it again.
Terrible.
And it got warm, and we were at like mile 10, and it's tough because you got to come back and then you got to go back out.
Yeah, go through that start finish.
We decided that we were going to be okay with a half marathon.
Yeah.
Loved the race. It was awesome. We just weren't ready to sign up for another half right after doing one.
That's the problem with the Out-and-Backs.
We're losers, man. We're losers.
No, I mean,
I do the same thing.
Yeah, when you go through that start finish, you're like, wow, my car's right there. I could get a Negroni and be done with it.
It's like what is that century here?
The double baked or something.
Yeah, twice baked century. Yeah. They do that, and you do 60, basically 50 something miles, then you come back through the parking lot, and then another 50, and it's in the like July or something. It's like the dead heat of summer, and so by the time you get back to the parking lot, and you realize you have to do it again. It's kind of like, am I okay with just like maybe doing an extra 10 and just getting 60 miles and calling it a day?
Yeah.
And my answer is usually yes.
So real quick, because I want to wrap up on the podcast. Because you mentioned Michael, and his weren't in the top 5, but they all performed really consistently. But there's this thing where they rank your top moment. That's where like people like went to a part of the podcast.
Oh wow, okay.
And that was Michael's episode 94, Tulsa Tough, when we talked about the bunny hop heard around the world. It's the top moment.
I was going to guess bunny hop.
Yeah.
I was literally going to guess bunny hop.
Not even close. And then on retention, what's interesting, who had the highest retention number, meaning the number of people that started versus the percentage that got to the end, right? So that's a big thing in podcasts, right? That people actually want to listen to it. So like our retention numbers on our one-on-ones are always really high. On the guests, it's up or down. What do you think is the number one?
Is it someone surprising or?
I was shocked by it, yes. But I don't think the two of you will, because the two of you really enjoyed the podcast.
PETA?
No.
I was going to say Alexi.
Rachel.
Oh, Rachel.
An hour and 44 minutes.
Yeah.
I intentionally didn't guess that because I think that's your longest, right?
By far, not even close.
Yeah, not right.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't.
People listen all the way to the end.
I was running in Aventura on a loop and didn't finish her podcast in time, but I remember where I was listening to that, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just like so eloquent in the way she explains things. And
Yeah.
so for me, I like the more sciencey podcasts more so like that's where Chad and I differ. Like he likes the parasocial kind of just like shooting the shit back and forth podcast. And I'm more of, I want someone to just like talk about something. Like I want to learn something while they're talking. So that's interesting because maybe that means our audience kind of likes
I was
that.
shocked today when I looked it up.
Well, but I will tell you what I liked about her is she was really, really high level and explained it really well until she needed to go deep.
Yeah.
And then she went so deep. And I think that combo kept people engaged because any level could have listened to it and gotten value out of it.
Yeah. I mean, so many people reached out. Can you do another episode with her? Like, talk about this.
We said we were going to, so I think we have to. No,
she will.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me how it all came because I posted a picture inside of Restore Wellness, and she was like, I'm the chief science officer.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what?
That's cool.
Number 2 on retention was Cole.
Huh.
And then number 3 was one-on-one flattening culture.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are my interesting year-end facts.
What was your favorite one? Your favorite one?
I don't have a favorite. That's asking them to pick your kid or pick your dog, right? I mean, favorite. PETA is always a really funny talk, and I think that's the accent.
Yeah.
I think Johnny's was really fun.
Yeah. I think Johnny's was
I think we had a lot of great guests. Like
I'm telling you, you really
so
did.
many great guests.
Yeah.
I mean, chemo and
I want to do more like in person because I think it's so much more fun when it's in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it
hopefully
is.
when we like the goal is next year when we travel a little bit more for some of the bike race stuff that we try to intentionally. I mean, we had in person last year at Traca.
Yeah.
But try and set it up a little bit more so we can do some more in person things.
Yeah. Yeah. I like one-on-ones. I mean, sorry, the guest in person for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So year end, that was the podcast we want to talk about next year.
Do you want to talk about predictions?
I think so, right? That's what we're here for.
So a lot of my predictions, and I feel like if you all want to go first, that's fine because mine are not as sports related, but I know that you all, like Chad's is more cycling related.
I only have one.
You only have one prediction?
No, I only have one cycling related.
Oh, okay.
Or one athletic related, I should say.
I think we should go around, say a prediction, and then discuss it.
Okay. Let's start with our guest.
Can I not do sports first?
Yeah, you can do it.
I only have one sport. One.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I only have one sport too.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good. Okay. Let me see. I've got a few.
What is that thing?
It's just my phone.
Oh.
Yeah, nerd
It's
phone.
very high tech.
Is it a?
He gives me
is
a
it
shout out
folder?
about my nerd. Yeah, it's a folding phone.
I like it.
That was
Cool.
going to be one of our predictions that 2026 will be the year that Apple finally crumbles and does a folding phone.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a Galaxy Fold. I actually like the new Trifold that just came out. I haven't tried it yet, but okay.
So do you think they will? Do you think Apple will?
Yeah, that's one of my predictions. It isn't one. I left it off the list, but yes, it would have been had I.
I
Yeah.
hope so because I would love to.
And the screen doesn't get screwed up. Like
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is magic.
Let's see. Okay, I'll do this one. You'll like this one. Companies will start evaluating hiring, performance, and potentially layoffs based upon the employee's willingness and demonstrated ability to use AI as a standard part of their job. Like it will become part of the evaluation criteria for employees.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be the main tool that everyone uses to be productive and be successful. So they have to. It would be like when we came into the working world, if we refused to use email.
Yeah.
you would be fired. Like,
Yeah, they'd be like,
everyone's
you have
gotta-
to.
Yeah.
Or if you refuse
Unless
to use
you're
a
old.
calendar or something,
Yeah.
But I think this is the year where it actually matters that you do it.
100%.
I don't think before now. I probably spend 80% of my day with some form of AI.
Yeah.
We do
And
too.
it is changing the way I view work.
I will add to your prediction and say that evaluation will actually be done behind the scenes by AI.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I think that you're going to have AI tools telling you what employees are using what AI tools are available and how they're using them and what kind of results they're getting.
Yep.
And how much they're working.
Well, so that kind of or I can piggyback one of my predictions because I agree with that. And another one of my predictions is that yes, it will be mandatory that if you haven't learned how to use AI to make yourself more productive, to Chad's point, it's like saying I don't use email. It's not going to be acceptable. But I think that companies will start implementing AI detection software as well. Because what I've seen is a lot of people in marketing, communications, all these different functional roles where they at one point have relied on people to outsource creative work. They're now trying to take it back in because they think they can do it through AI. And I basically have just been seeing a lot of internal slop coming out of that.
Yeah.
So like it's
But
clear
it's because the layer above isn't aware.
because they're not checking it.
Yeah,
so I think that's the good thing about AI is people can be productive. The bad thing about AI is people use it to be lazy in other areas. And so I think there'll be AI detection tools that say, 90% of what you wrote for XYZ is AI generated. And maybe if the manager's fine with that, if it doesn't really matter, then that's fine. But if it's something that really needs to be like personalized and created from a human, I think that's going to be it's going to be flagged.
But that's only relevant in the creative
Definitely.
world.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
No,
It's not like
I don't know about that.
Really?
And part of my prediction is that how the person uses AI will be a component of the evaluation, not whether or not they use it. My background's a technical one. I'm not in a technical role anymore. I didn't tell you what I changed role since the last podcast, but however, I still in the evening do some technical stuff because I enjoy doing that when I'm traveling, and I will work, for example, with Cursor, and I'm building a data pipeline for analytics to help me understand our business better. And it gives me some garbage.
Yeah.
And I know enough to know it's garbage. Yeah. And I have to tell it that it is garbage. And I would hate for some engineer to deploy what it originally gave me because they lack the discretion to know what good and bad is. And so I think knowing how to get good and bad out of AI, or knowing how to get good out of AI, is going to be very important.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what I'm talking about. I see a lot of repetition because people put it in AI and they don't know how to create an entire picture. And so if they need to create duplicate things for different, like let's just say like employee stories, duplicate employee stories, every employee story that's coming
They
across.
just push the button, here you go.
Coming across my desk of like, here's the finished product. I'm like, is this the same employee with a different picture? Because you did not check what AI was giving, like spitting you back out because it's using the exact same words in the exact same language. So I think people have to be really careful about that.
But that can be good if you give it the right prompt and you have coached it to give you the right result.
Yeah.
It's really bad when you just assume it's right and let it fly, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think it's going to be fundamentally like you have to be good at using it.
And when people look at laying off employees, it will be part of the criteria because it's
100%.
a force multiplier that if you have somebody that says, I will not use that, or I don't know how to use it properly and I won't learn, that is a very telling thing for the future.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. There's like not wanting to innovate.
What AI service have you used that saves you the most time versus the before days?
It's not the one I use the most, but to answer your question, it is Cursor. I'm able to do things. I mean, I have decent.
What is Cursor? I don't even know.
So Cursor is a development environment that is it's a fork of something called VS Code, which a lot of developers write in, and it is a fork of that has integrated into it AI that helps you write software.
Okay.
And it is actually stunning the amount of time things take. Things that would take weeks take minutes.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is I will be in meetings. I have a lot of meetings with our parent company. We don't have a ton at my company, but I'll be in meetings with the parent company, and there's something I want to get done, and I just ask an agent in Cursor to work on it for me.
Wow.
And while I'm in a meeting, I'm getting really like a week's worth of work done back in the old days.
Yeah.
and it's not perfect, but it's gotten a lot better now at helping validate. It's really incredible. So that's the highest time saving. The one I spend the most time with is OpenAI, is ChatGPT. I don't think, I think Gemini is coming on so strong. In fact, one of my predictions is that Google will eclipse what the lead that OpenAI had, if they haven't already with the recent Gemini releases. But it's what I use the most. But Cursor by far saves me the most time.
Do you use Anthropic?
Yep. Claude Code is the Anthropic that I would use, not Claude proper, but that's just because I already use kind of OpenAI, and like there are advantages to it, but like once you're locked in and you get everything piled into one place that understands context, et cetera.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. I was curious. For us, it's easy to identify the thing that saves us the most time. And it's administrative, it's statement of works, proposals and statement of work. It would take us so much time, and a client would come back, actually, could we change this or do this? And it would take us a week to get this, because we got all the other work done. We can just put it into our agent, and it creates a statement of work.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not something that is dependent on being a creative deliverable. It's like, here's what you asked for. And it perfectly outlines, and also make sure you don't miss anything that should be in the statement of work that you haven't thought about. And that's the awesome part of it.
Apparently, our family's accounts receivable department. Heather spoke again this year at TRE at the running event, and needed to do an invoice to submit to them. And somehow I became the invoice creator, but it was a few minutes. It was done. And it was perfect, and it had everything I wanted. And it was incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I let this year, and I only had to do this one time, luckily, but I will say it was the most joy that I got out of using AI was we had a legal department send us back a long master service agreement, and they had just
for a very small amount of work.
For a very small amount of money and a very small piece of work. And basically it felt like they were just trying to bury me in this contract so that I'd just sign it and give up, which probably in the past I either would have been like, Chad, can you read through this? Or I would have just given up and signed it. But I was like, no, I'm running this through ChatGPT. And so I ran it through ChatGPT and said, tell me in this contract what is reasonable based on our services, based on the deliverables, based on this company, and what is unreasonable, and flag those. And it did it. And some of the stuff that it flagged, I was actually like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not okay that's in there. Just owning all of your creative whatever, or just various things.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going back and making all the changes and sending it back to the legal department. And they were so overwhelmed by the fact that someone had gone through and called out the unreasonable things in their master service agreement. They just didn't even respond ever again.
They gave up.
They gave up. They never had me sign anything. They just gave up. And I'm like, okay, I out-lawyered the lawyer with ChatGPT. So that brought me a lot of joy.
That was pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't use it like that very often.
All right. What's your prediction?
So I have another AI prediction. I think this one is not necessarily going to happen hard stop in 2026. I think it's going to be an evolution, but maybe it's a little bit wishful thinking. I believe that AI will get to the point that let's just use the restaurant business for an example. In restaurants, AI will be able to track how well your servers are providing service, how fast they're delivering service, and basically be able to listen to the way they talk and treat customers, speed, all that kind of stuff, table turn. And it's going to say there's a suggested tip based on performance. And you can either accept the suggested tip, or you could obviously do whatever tip you want. But I think that will be the future of having to make this whole tipping thing where you just tip, it's assumed that you just tip for everything, has got to come to a stop. And I think restaurants are going to start using AI to say okay, we're holding our employees accountable, that if they want this tip, our AI is tracking exactly how good of service they're doing.
Wow. Just made a lot of servers nervous.
Well, I mean, it's not, okay, so this is the thing. I've been a server at a lot of different restaurants. It's not hard to be a kind server. It's just not. Might be hard to be really fast if there's hangups in the kitchen. And I think AI will get to the point where it's smart enough that it'll be able to take all things into consideration. If a ticket goes in at this time, but they see that there's a consistent delay between ticket and table time, it's going to take that into consideration. But it has to go in that direction. It has to like optimizing the performance of restaurant workers so that they can actually make more money. I think it's in the future.
Wow.
You have a great idea for an app. Like, we don't have to wait on a restaurant to do it. Just have something that listens for activity.
Yeah.
Detects when you're ordering, the responses, all that. And then it just lets you know what you should expect.
Yeah.
Based upon that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it would probably save.
Should we start a new business?
Yeah, it is pretty good. And we can do it. We could use Cursor. It would we could build this in a week.
Really?
I actually have an app I'm going to build in a few months. And I really think I'll be able to build it in a week or so. And it's going to be awesome.
All right. Maybe we'll cut this part out and we're going to start a business.
I
feel like
what if we made them wear body cams?
Well, I think it's more at the table. You just have like a speaker essentially, or like a listening device at the table that would just be built into each table, or whatever. Or maybe you turn it, or maybe it's based on the consumer, and the consumer puts their phone down and it suggests
and their preferences, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This would save me a lot of money. Steve Martin's character in My Blue Heaven said, he had the quote, I don't believe in tipping. I believe in over tipping.
Yeah.
And I probably tip more than I should. And I'm probably, because it's a really hard job. And, but there are probably times where I shouldn't have even done the 15%, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm often going to the 25, And so.
What do you tip at walk-up counter Bell Street burritos?
Oh, Bell Street. Yeah, but that's hard.
What percentage?
No,
it gives you
Bell Street,
15, 18, 20.
You picked one that's hard.
Why?
Because of tortillas.
They take a while to make.
No.
What?
So there's a restaurant.
Oh, the restaurant tortillas.
Yeah, there's a restaurant that was on Ponce called Tortillas.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was unfortunately a victim of Moe's. When Moe's came in, it shortly closed down. In fact, Eats just closed down. It was owned by the same owner.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Tortillas will go down in history as my all-time favorite restaurant in time and memoriam.
So you don't tip because of them?
No. Bell Street has done its very best to be as close to Tortillas as possible.
Okay.
So I have a special affinity to Bell Street, and I would just pick whatever I don't know what the highest percentage is. I would just pick, if it's 20, then I'm just going to hit 20.
Okay.
Really to support Tortillas by proxy, because it's the best I can do. So you picked a bad one.
Okay.
But usually like 15.
Okay.
But to layer on top of that, it would also give managers the ability to train their employees better. So if they see that there's an employee that's underperforming based on the AI monitoring, they'd be able to say, okay, well, Susan, she's really fast at getting the tickets in and getting it out to the table, but she's not super friendly, So how do we coach her to be a better employee because of all of these analytics?
But my AI, I guess my biggest AI prediction is social media related, and that the deep fakes are so good and they're only going to get better into next year, that's going to create a overwhelming amount of distrust of social media. And the utilization, I was looking up the numbers today, utilization of social media is going down in every demographic except for one, Nikki's parents' age or your mom's age.
Facebook?
Yeah, in all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think this is what really turns that the heat up on social media, and for a good thing. And I think it will become more niche. I think brands are going to have to publicly state whether or not they're using AI to create marketing content, and you're gonna have two distinct types of brands. One that's holds itself out there as like, we do not use this, and it's probably going to start with like luxury, like Hermes or whatever. And then you've got the other brands that aren't going to say that, but everyone just knows they use, like Specialized with their bike. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see it.
They released a new bike, and the main image for the bike was AI generated because the disc rotor was in the middle of the hub.
No.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't a real bike.
It wasn't a real bike.
It's kind of crazy.
So I think
things will be labeled like, just like Food and Drug Administration requires you to label food a certain way. I think that there will be regulations requiring people to label human generated versus non-human generated. And I think
to get the government to get to that point, it's going to take a long time.
I don't know. Yeah. I think they're going to have to work faster. It's just going to get out of control. but
I just
maybe.
think it's going to create so much distrust. I just think people are just going to not believe anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already happening.
My hope is that the social media platforms will get to this point where they essentially, just like they do with, if we upload our podcast to YouTube and we have one person that works for the government's name in there or anything like that, it immediately blocks it. I think they're going to have to get to the point where they just block AI content in order to deliver a more authentic feed to people.
Yeah, if
Or
they want
maybe-
to. I don't know if they want to, though.
No, but maybe their option is to click a button that says, no, I don't want any AI generated content in my feed.
Yeah.
And
You
so
Just have
you
an
can
empty
choose.
feed pretty soon.
Or it just ends up being what it used to be, which is just your good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a...
In my research, and you'll find this interesting, I was trying to figure out, because most of the platforms are disclosing utilization. The one main one that doesn't disclose anything is LinkedIn, because they're part of Microsoft and they're such a small part of Microsoft, they don't have to disclose. But all of the analysis around their utilization is like, it's so low because all the content on there is bot generated or AI generated, and that no one even goes on there to do anything except for look for a job.
And even when it isn't, it feels like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like super excited to have blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're not really super excited. And by the way, I'm guilty. I'm sure I've done it a million times. I do think like LinkedIn's a great one because as I do use it, and I like to know what's going on. There's some good things on there, and it's more and more you can really spot the AI stuff. Now, I don't know that everybody can, but you really can. And I have posted things to LinkedIn where I did get help from AI, but I'm very careful to start with something genuine and original and then get some help, not have it do it, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I think others are... this
Write
is
me a
my-
LinkedIn post.
I really think people, do that.
They
and
do.
and I think that's pretty obvious. Like for these predictions, I did not let AI do anything
No.
for these predictions.
Yeah.
None, zero. What I did use AI for is I had made predictions for this podcast that we didn't end up giving last year. And I went back and looked at how I did.
Yeah.
And actually, the prediction I had last year was the one you just gave around deepfakes. I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it would really disrupt the election. I don't think it truly did. It did create some confusion, but I don't think it truly did. So my prediction was wrong. But I did use it for that to say, hey, because that's more like matter of fact. How well did I do? Not help me create. Like helping create versus helping analyze. I can analyze an MSA and tell you something. Maybe I shouldn't create all the concepts that I need in an MSA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried not to use any AI to come up with these concepts because I was worried that we'd all have the same concepts. For me, it's more what I'm hoping happens. I feel like my predictions are just like what I hope happens.
Can I give you my next prediction?
Yeah,
That's
go.
what I hope happens.
Yeah.
And technically, I tried to steer away from AI, but it's so hard. Everything's embedded in AI. So this is technically an AI proclamation of what I hope will happen. And I think it may. At least one auto insurance company will give a discount this year to people who are using full self-driving on a Tesla. They should. If you believe in math.
On a Tesla, though? Like
On a full, if you're using full self-driving,
yeah.
there are
But Tesla's like running over people.
there are enough data out there that if you're using full self-driving, you're listening to deep fakes, Chad. If you're using full self-driving on Tesla, the number of miles they've done safely dramatically outpaces what a human does. And it will only get safer.
Yeah.
When unsupervised full self-driving comes out this year, I think it will even be safer than that. So this is AI in that AI is used to train that.
Yeah.
Now, I think unsupervised FSD is going to take the form of the Tesla cab that's being revealed. So I think that's where you'll see most of it. No, not the Waymo. No. There's go look it up. Recently they showed it's like a living room that happens to drive itself when you want to go places. It's going to change the way people think of getting places, like in a quote unquote cab.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you have a Tesla?
I do not.
Okay.
I don't drive enough now to have a Tesla, and I also have my Sprinter van, my camping van.
Yeah.
And so I'm just limping out as many years as I can on my Q7.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they really need to come out with, and I'm sure there are already some for like insane amounts of money, but they need self-driving RVs because people get in serious accidents in RVs, mostly because they're not used to driving a giant RV, especially a Class A. They're not used to driving basically a bus. And it tends to skew the older demographic that either has vision issues or a medical emergency or just, again, not used to driving a bus. So I'm like, when are they going to come out with these self-driving buses where these old people can just be like, I'm in retirement, I'm getting on my self-driving bus, and I'm going across the country safely.
It's coming.
It's got to be coming.
Yeah.
And you go long distance, which makes it even better.
You don't have to stop.
Want to do that. Yeah.
I think that has to be the future of travel.
Go cook a sandwich. Make a sandwich in the
back.
back.
You can just chill. It'd be so nice.
I saw a news report today that a King Air had a Garmin AI Autoland installed in it, and the pilot passed out, and the plane landed itself.
Really?
A King Air.
Wow.
Which a plane John and I have flown on many times. It's a propeller plane. It's not like a fancy jet. It's like literally a propeller plane.
Yeah.
So
it's
coming. If they can do planes, they can definitely do.
And
RVs.
why you can't trust anything is I bet there will be at least one news report that says man dies in plane piloted by AI Garmin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no.
What's your another one?
So are we staying on the topic? Well, do you want to stay on the topic of AI? Because I have just
it's
one.
Up to you.
Have one more that I do think kind of goes with what you were, or a little bit of what you're saying, but
Okay.
a shift in changing the way we experience healthcare. So I think that next year, so many people will be using AI to self-diagnose for minor things, basic things that they would typically go see their, normal practitioner or maybe even an urgent clinic or a walk-in clinic like CVS. We're gonna see those numbers of people going into those places declining like a sharp off a cliff. People are just gonna self-diagnose. They're gonna, maybe use the call-in feature through their insurance to get like a basic prescription, or they're just gonna say, oh, okay, I could just get some Tylenol, whatever. And I think that's gonna force health insurance companies to have to look at the cost of premiums and the cost of how much they're charging, because I think people, when they go to renew after next year, are gonna say, do I really need to have this like massive healthcare plan when my only time I've utilized it is when my kid broke his arm, and everything else I just used ChatGPT and he had a few colds. And so they're just going to choose super high deductibles, basically like catastrophic plans, and pay less. So I think hopefully that's going to force healthcare to be back in the favor or in control of, like, from the consumer side and kind of correct. I think just the scales have just been so off balance where healthcare is, we see it, everyone sees it. So I'm hoping that AI kind of rights the wrongs of the healthcare system.
What do you think?
I think it might be too hopeful.
Me too. The problem that I have is that I know how these organizations work, and they will find money.
Yeah.
They will.
They will find ways to charge more for fewer people, and the carrot there is the fear of the cancer, the fear of the catastrophic, and they'll just charge more. They'll make up for you.
Yeah.
By just charging John more.
Oh,
is what's going to happen.
Sorry, John.
I don't know.
I mean, look at me. You probably should charge me a little more than Nikki, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm just hoping that over time,
there'll
be some way. I think a lot of mine are more like over time, not necessarily like just
like
next year.
It's going to start trending in that direction.
Yeah, and I think it will also, we'll see a lot more independent services pop up. Like we're already seeing it. We're Stat Wellness. We're seeing, First Look MRI. We're seeing all these where you just go in, you pay a flat rate fee, you get really good service, and you don't even have to, I have friends that don't have health insurance because they just use these kind of ancillary services that they find whenever they need it. And they're just willing, they're willing to risk it, because they're young or they're healthy or whatever. They don't have I think if you have kids, it's a lot different. But I don't know. It's just interesting. I think it'll change somehow.
Yeah, I think one political statement that everybody could agree to in the United States, which is really hard to find, is our healthcare system is broken.
100%.
Then how do you fix it is where the big divisions start happening. So if AI is able to create a level of maybe transparency or clarity or something to break up that logjam and either get the consumer directly connected with healthcare, unlike they are now because it goes through a company, or get it the other direction of what the ACA was going, which is have it more closely connected to government. And there are countries that run that way, and we're a country that runs like in between. So I think there will be a benefit there if it can break that logjam.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, my hope is that someone really smart comes along and just figures out, again, just how to create something that does that.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban.
Mark, not the first person I was thinking of, but maybe.
He's trying.
He's working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Created his own prescription company.
All right. What about?
What do you got?
What do you got?
How about 2026 is the year that performative sober goes away?
No, I think it gets worse before it gets better.
Really?
Yeah.
I
think performative.
Do you know what performative sober is?
Yeah, I listened to your podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I think it's just such a trend, and I think it just goes. I think the pendulum will swing back. People have a glass of wine and not lie about it.
I think it depends on the generation, because I think that it depends on what you consider sober, and it depends on the generation, because we know that Michael's generation and younger are smoking a lot of weed or edibles or whatever.
But that's the thing. There is a definition of sober.
Yeah.
It's not being enhanced at all.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
don't
it's
think,
performative.
my point is, I don't think the younger generations are all of a sudden going to start drinking like massive amounts of alcohol like millennials and Gen X did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not 100% because I keep seeing more people say they're sober. So I feel like it's going to trickle into at least the first 6 months of next year, and then maybe everything will drop off.
Okay.
But it's
Okay, you want my sports one? I have one sports one.
Do you have a take on that? That's not the world you live in. You don't know anyone that's
I don't know.
performatively sober.
No, go to a brewery with me, and there's no performative,
Yeah.
and there's no sober.
No one in your world is saying they're sober. They're not.
No, I live in a different world there.
Yeah, go.
Okay. It actually comes from one of the predictions that I didn't give last year, but would have,
Yeah.
that I think has kind of been true, but not as well as I stated it. But now it has meant something to me this year. So the prediction last year was that NIL was going to have a backlash because of all the turmoil that it's creating in college football.
Yep.
However, I'm going to modify that and say I am so delighted that NIL exists because the school where my son played football, which is IU,
Yep.
is going to, in my prediction, beat UGA in the national championship for football this year.
Wow, it's a big prediction.
A few
right
things
there.
have to
That
happen.
is a big one. Yep.
But
That's going to be controversial.
NIL allowed, I believe.
Yeah, it would never
I mean,
happen.
Signetti, by the way, he's doing amazing stuff.
But it would have never happened if
NIL
Yeah.
allowed Indiana to
Yep.
play at the level they've been able to play with good coaching and everything. And they're undefeated, which is not something that happens at Indiana. And I tell Jack, my son, that he helped start that movement.
Yeah.
And we'll stick with that. And if Indiana wins, we'll be delighted because that's where Jack played. And if Georgia wins, we'll be delighted because that's where Heather went to school. So,
Oh, okay. That's a big prediction.
and you're going to find out really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll know within a few weeks.
Could know really soon, depending on how Alabama IU goes. You know?
Exactly. I agree with your assessment there. I don't know if I agree. I haven't watched close enough to see how good Indiana is. To be honest with you, I have not watched them play at all. Like, I've just been waiting every week for them to lose, like by watching the scores, and it never happens. Obviously, their quarterback won the Heisman Trophy, and he's really, really good. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, Georgia's really good. I just am hoping and praying that something happens with NIL, because I do think that college football is getting ruined.
But maybe it's getting ruined, but if Indiana's doing this well, maybe it's not getting ruined. And
Yeah.
if there's a season where both Georgia Tech and Indiana are undefeated 8 games in, I'm all for the NIL. That's just what I'm saying.
I mean, that could speak to maybe it's, the level playing field. It's like the days of Lance Armstrong in the early 2000s racing Tour de France. Everyone was doping. You just still had to be the strongest.
That's right.
I guess just from my perspective, because my school's a traditional powerhouse that's been ruined by NIL.
Yeah, that's fine.
I hate it. I do think
I'm okay FSU being ruined by.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people that seeing that schools are starting to sue kids for not fulfilling their obligations, I think that's all of a sudden going to create a bit of a chilling effect on what's happening.
Yeah.
So what's happening is kids are going to schools, they're taking money, and then they're not fulfilling their obligation by actually performing the field, and then they're turning around transferring. So schools are starting to sue them.
They're not reading their MSA very closely.
Yeah, they have to, because because you're not a quote unquote adult in the real world doesn't mean you can scam someone.
Yeah. So
it's essentially like going in and robbing a bank and leaving.
All right, that's a big prediction.
Yeah,
I like that. I got a big sports related prediction. Mine you won't know until July, but Tadej Pogacar will not win the Tour de France.
Ooh, okay.
You even said you don't think he'll actually do the Tour de France.
That's my second part. I don't even know if he's going to do it. That's. Remember when Jordan won so much and just said, I'm going to go play. I'm going to go play baseball for a couple of years. That's what I see in him right now. I don't see someone that wants to do the Tour de France again next year, because it's not that hard for him to win it. I mean, he's already said he wants to win Paris-Roubaix, which is a completely different type of race, obviously. So I just think we're looking at the burnout of probably the most prolific and the world's greatest cyclist of all time. And if something doesn't change, we may just lose him for forever. Like, he may just say, I'm done. So I think he'll skip it. I think he'll do other races.
Yeah.
Is my prediction. But there's so much money on the line. But
it depends on the team, though. They might say you don't have a choice.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's so much money on the line with UAE, but they have the world's potentially second best Grand Tour rider in Del Toro, who's younger, who's almost won the Giro last year. Why not give him a chance? Because then that's a better story for him too. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. Thoughts?
I think he'll do it. I think they're just gonna. Yeah, they're gonna say you have to do it.
If he didn't, I would not blame him. There is nothing wrong with going out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's just taking a couple of years off and come back,
I mean, I agree. I think if he's like, I'm not going to be a part of the team anymore and I'm going to just retire, okay, but I think there's a chance that they might make him do the tour. Or at least say do X amount of stages to work for, you know what I mean?
I don't think he could do that, could he?
I don't.
You can't be that good and do...
Mentally, I don't know if he could handle that. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
My next prediction is the death of traditional athleisure. And because of AI and the ability for companies to innovate a lot like easier, I think we're going to start. And really what made me think of this is, I don't know if you saw, but Bandit came out, Bandit Running, which is a running clothing company for those of you that aren't into running. Traditionally just really cool designs. I mean, they've blown up out of nowhere. We've talked about on the podcast a million times. They came up with a new winter mid-layer that has hand warmers built into the sleeves. That's just one example, but it made me think of, because the flattening of design culture has happened so bad. Like, everyone is copying everyone, and so all these brands start to look the same. You don't really know, and then you got like Temu copying all the brands. I think innovation in performance wear is going to start becoming the new thing. So these brands can patent their innovations and make more money and or sell the innovation to other running companies.
Gotcha.
So I think we're going to start seeing, because we've already seen a lot of innovation with running shoes. We know that.
Yep.
Companies are doing crazy things still with running shoes. But we haven't seen companies do a lot of crazy innovative things with running clothes.
Not at all.
Yeah, not at all. I mean,
especially compared to cycling.
Cycling, there's tons of innovation, especially around, as we know, aerodynamics. Mm-hmm. But running, it's been kind of the same thing forever. So I think if there's a really smart brand, and they can come up with unique ways to either cool you or heat you, and you can patent it, I think that's what's going to happen.
And with what you're able to do now with 3D printing and
Exactly.
AI with design, rapid prototyping has never been better.
Exactly. So that's my prediction from athleisure wear.
I think it baffles me that cycling is so much more innovative when it comes to apparel than running.
Yeah.
When running's such a bigger market.
That does bring up a question I had for the pod,
Yeah.
if I can ask.
Yeah.
Of course.
When will I have my SpeedStudio running shirt, and will you make one in my size?
I have been desperately trying to find a company that I like the material.
We're looking for a partner.
We're looking for a partner, and we love our cycling partners, but their running stuff just isn't quite hitting it, which they know. We've already talked about it. It's not putting anything out on blast, but I'm struggling to find a custom running partner that makes, because trust me, I don't even have a SpeedStudio running shirt.
We actually have a guest. The next guest is an expert in this area that we're going to talk to.
So we're going to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
He's got a Substack. I'll send you.
Okay, good.
And I don't know why it's so hard.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's just,
Okay.
To me, it's more of a question. We'll talk to him about that. Is why is custom apparel with all these run clubs not a thing?
I know.
Because that's why the innovation exists on the cycling side, because you have team apparel, et cetera. But it doesn't exist on the running side.
Well, it's because they do have custom T-shirts. I mean, you see like Atlanta Track
Custom
Club,
t-shirt,
Atlanta.
yeah.
It's because they're not really clubs. Like there's very few running clubs that are like a cycling club. A running club now has turned into a time and a date where people show up and start a run at the same time and essentially disperse. And then you never really see anyone again, except for maybe the 5 people that you always run. Like I would say like our Wednesday run from Muchacho is more of a run club than what Atlanta Run Club is on a Monday night. And not to like knock Atlanta Run Club at all, because I love them. But showing up at a designated time and just on a mass run, it doesn't make you a club.
Yeah.
So I think of the 2 quote unquote run clubs that I will participate in if I'm in town. And one of them, I could never imagine them having a shirt, because it's a run club that people attend really well, with some great leadership, and it's fun, but they wouldn't do that.
Why?
Just isn't what
They don't care?
No, there isn't a reason to. Like, it's not the same.
To look cool.
But people aren't going to match. Like people running wise, I don't think want to match.
The other one actually does have standard running gear.
Yeah.
It's a triathlon club.
Oh,
Oh, I believe that.
So-
I believe that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
Right?
but it's I think because when you think about it, if you're running down the belt line, you've probably seen this a million times. Like you see the Georgia Tech guys, you see or the ladies.
They all match Georgia State.
They all match, and in my mind, I'm always like, that looks so cool.
Yeah.
But there's so many varying opinions on running clothes. Like with kits, you kind of, you have a little bit of different. You have obviously different fits and cuts of a kit, but at the end of the day, like everyone has to have bibs with a chamois in it, and you have to have a jersey that, for the most part, zips up. Running, it's like t-shirts, tank tops, sports bras, booty shorts, baggy shorts. I mean, look at like Courtney Dautweiler. Like what she runs in is totally different than what everyone else trying to qualify for Olympic trials is running in.
And
so I think
I'm-
it's hard.
If I'm going to run a marathon, nobody's going to tell me what I'm wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I need to optimize for exactly what I need comfort-wise for that marathon.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell me what I'm running in.
Exactly. Well, because like for me,
That's such a different mentality. If you think
well,
about it.
because it's an individual thing.
Think about the guys riding the tour. They're like, no one's telling me what to wear for this Tour de France.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but if you were to, like, let's say Steeple Squigs, like Colleen Quigley's team, they are wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, 'cause
we're
they're
not
pros.
talking about elite athletes. We're talking about the average runner that just quite frankly doesn't want to spend that much money on like a super fan. And like riding as a club is a lot easier to stick together. When you show up to a group ride, everyone kind of stays together. You don't just like disperse it. Like even Tucker Airport, like for the most part, people stay together, the majority, for quite a while. Run clubs, I mean, it's chaos from the start. Some people are walking, which is totally fine. Some people are jogging. Some want to do a, tempo workout. Some want to do whatever. So I think it's,
All right.
yeah.
What you got?
I have 2 more.
Okay.
I'll give you and I'm going to get both these in, and you're not allowed to cut them.
Okay.
So this one is my bonus one, and then my last one I'll end with when we get to that. I think Chad
Okay.
this year
Yeah.
will stand on the front of a boat and do what I'm calling vibe farming. And he'll be the first one ever to do it,
Okay.
because I know you feel like you should be a vibe consultant.
Yeah. I am a vibe consultant.
Okay, you're a
Yeah.
vibe consultant.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I know you like that moniker. But now that we have aura farming, I would like, this is a hopeful, wishful prediction.
Okay.
I would like for you to combine your vibe consulting
Yeah.
with aura farming
Okay.
and be a vibe farmer and do it in the traditional aura farming style that you were unaware of on a recent episode. And I was incredibly disappointed. But then it did reinforce your Spotify age because you don't know what's happening in the world. So there you go.
Yeah, 89, 79.
Yep.
What am I doing exactly on the boat?
You're creating vibe.
I'm creating
Not aura, not aura, because you're more about vibe than aura. But you're on the front of the boat and you're making movements that inspire a certain vibe for the people rowing the boat.
Oh, they're rowing the boat.
Yeah, of course they are. Like aura farming.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what aura farming is.
It's the most magical thing ever.
This is what Michael mentioned the other day.
Yeah, us kids, we know all about it.
Yeah. So explain aura farming.
So you have somebody on the front of the boat, typically in Indonesia, and as they're rowing the boat, there's somebody that's they're farming aura. You got to see it, and I can't do it.
Remember,
right
he
here.
described they're like all rowing at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you have, and it's usually a little kid because you have very little space to fit on the boat. I guess I don't know, but and there's some great videos out there. Just
Okay, I guess
look
I'm
for
gonna
the
have to
best
look this
aura
up.
farming. Yeah.
Okay.
So Chad's going to become a coxman?
He's going to be one. Yeah.
Was it
yeah.
a
It's a coxman. Yeah.
coxman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to vibe.
That's exciting.
He's going to vibe farm.
We're going to be in a really weird place if that's what you start doing.
That's an exciting prediction.
I want a video too.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. Yeah.
There you go. That's a
Interesting.
prediction.
Well, good.
Okay.
I love that
All
one.
right.
I think, I guess this goes with vibe consulting. I think that we are going to start seeing a shift where people are discouraged or not allowed. We've already started to see it. Not allowed to, when you go into a restaurant, you're not going to be allowed to like take pictures, take videos, like do the whole like distracting, like when you go into gyms, when you go to events. I think even at, let's just say like an F1 event, for example, I think there's going to be a designated, if you pay enough money to go into this VIP section, they're going to say this is basically like a non-influencer section. Because I think people are so tired of going into places and just being last night's a perfect example. We went to Pont City to try and find our nephew a couple presents. And when we were there, we're like, oh, well, we'll sit down and have dinner. So we sit down at the bar, order a glass of wine, order some dinner. And the girl next to me is like posing with her French fries. And I'm in the back of every single picture that the server is taking of her. And she's like posing with these French fries.
It's true.
And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't want to be photographed. Like, I didn't come to a bar to sit here to be, photographed in the background of some influencer girl's French fry photos. I think we're going to see people like really hardcore locking down on like, you do not take photos or videos in this facility, and it makes it more, I think it's going to be seen as like classless to constantly document every little thing so that you can just blast it out on social media for clout. My prediction.
French fries looked good though.
They did, but were you not annoyed? I was so annoyed that I was like in the back of every picture.
It was weird.
It was so
because she didn't look like an influencer type.
I
think she's having a bad night.
Neither
Trying to make
here nor
I
there,
think she's
but
trying to make someone jealous
I
or
just
something.
think like I should have to consent to being in the background of photos like that.
Yeah.
When I'm in a space where I want to have a nice, you know what I mean? Like if you're at Disney World, whatever, it is what it is. But if you're in a box at a game trying to enjoy, like, and some girl is just literally taking photos of herself for 45 minutes, that's unacceptable.
Well, you're not going to like my prediction then, because I think that we are about to see an explosion in the AI glasses world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think every single person you talk to, you should assume is recording you or taking pictures of you.
But that's less distracting than the like constant posing and the constant, like you even say at the gym how annoying it is.
Well, yeah, there's tripods everywhere in
Yeah.
the gym.
I don't know.
But that's why I think the glasses are. I mean, they've been there for a while, but this Oakley Meta combination, like that, kind of opened my eyes. Like this is happening. Like we're now where like every glasses are going to have some kind of glass, some type of camera in it, and you're going to be able to talk to it.
Yeah, and wait until it's connected to your Neuralink, and you immediately know everything about everything.
Exactly.
Which would be amazing.
People are going to just look at you and they'll be like, "Oh, that's Nikki Strickland. Here's
Yeah, I
what
don't
she
like
does."
that. But
that's coming.
I think there's going to be safe spaces though where people pay more money to not have to deal with that. Like I would pay more money to go to a restaurant and sit in a section, and not a non-smoking section, a non-photography section, so I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I definitely.
I think it was Virgin Atlantic when we were going to Bangalore from Heathrow a month or so ago, where they announced specifically not to take photos of other people on the flight. That was the first time I'd been on a flight like that and heard that. And so maybe the trend's already starting. It just hasn't arrived here yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of restaurants in LA and New York clubs where they give you a sticker to put on your camera.
Put over your camera.
Oh, interesting. Really?
And
I don't go to the right restaurants.
Well,
Bell Street's my pinnacle, obviously.
I'm hoping that there'll be a cultural shift too, where people kind of like stick their nose up to people who are just constantly documenting everything.
Yeah.
Like I think it'll be seen as like a lower class individual if you are someone that is trying to make money constantly off just documenting your French fries.
Yeah.
And so I think that will cause a little bit of shift because people are obsessed with classism and clout. And so I think people will start self-regulating a little bit and being a little more discreet. Just like in the good old days. Mm-hmm. You were more discreet when you went outside, like after dinner, you stood in a group and you took a picture with your group. Like that was totally normal. Or at the end of the dinner, you kind of all huddled together and like made sure no one was in the background and then you took the picture. I think that will be the trend, kind of moving back to that. But I just think it's gotten out of control. But like I saw someone the other day post an entire video montage of they were at a football game and they were rating the couples at the football game, and they were rating the girls and rating the guys and saying whether or not they matched. And they were taking videos of these people without them knowing. That's what I'm telling you.
That's coming with the glasses. That's going to happen nonstop.
That's weird. Like it feels so invasive that you like have to walk everywhere and worry about someone. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think I inadvertently supported your position here when we were in Morocco a couple years ago, because there was an influencer type. We were at a palace doing a tour, and she was having her friend take pictures, and she was doing like sexy poses and archways and all that in this palace. And Heather wouldn't do it, so I asked our guide if he would take pictures of me doing sexy poses just like she was. And
did he?
Oh yeah, of course he did.
Oh my gosh, we have to see these photos.
And yeah, Len's awesome. He would do anything, and I have him on my phone, but and so I hopefully shamed her and had her think, because she saw that I was taking these sexy poses that were as sexy as
there
hers.
you go.
She probably didn't care.
Because this is not a video podcast, I want to be very clear. I'm not sexy.
Send us the pictures and we'll put it on the pod art. I bet she didn't care.
I think she didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah. In my mind, she cared, but I bet she didn't.
Well,
you still got some points in.
That's my wishful hope. I
cared.
Thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's going to be segments of the population that feels that way even stronger again, because the cameras and the computers are coming to our face.
Yeah.
And it's going to be big this year, I think.
And then you have people like me that are First Amendment absolutists that you're not talking about public spaces.
Yeah.
But when in public, there's no expectation of privacy.
Yeah.
And, I believe in the First Amendment that people should be able to do that. Now, that's when you're in public. That's why if Virgin Atlantic wants to say you can't record here, I'm totally cool with that, because I'm not in a public space.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why it's like, okay, Disney World, you can't really do. I mean, it's not technically a public space, but public enough.
Yeah.
But I think it's public. But in a nice restaurant, they could easily say, hey, this section is not for photography. That section, that's our influencer section. Y'all sit over there.
Yeah.
It'll be the smoking, non-smoking.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
Okay. What you got? You got your last one?
I got my last one.
Hold on, I got a question for you before you do that, because I just thought of this as a possibility that's product related, and something that I've been thinking about and talking to Chip about for a long time. Do you think 2026 is the year that we see the fully integrated bike, where all of your electronics, everything is integrated? Your computer, your lights, your power meter, your drivetrain.
Yeah, I don't think it's 2026. Now that I'm 6 months.
Yeah, now that you're
I'm 6 months out of the
NDA
industry.
still apply, or
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But 6 months out of the industry. But I don't think any company's ready to do that in 2026. I will tell you, I like what Factor just released from a design aesthetic.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're willing to be as bold as they are, I don't know anything specific with them, so I don't know. But I could see a company like them who does their own manufacturing in Taiwan, all in one place, doing really good stuff. I could see them doing it, but I don't think it'd be 2026. I know some of the folks out there that are working in that direction, and there's some really good ideas, but I don't think that we're there yet.
Still too far away.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be surprised. I'd love to be surprised.
I think that the drivetrain is the big obstacle for them, right? Like, because a lot of those companies, like you said, especially if they're in Taiwan, they can get the bike computer, the lights, all of that, the power meter, all that, pretty close there. But it's the drivetrain,
which means that in reality, you've got a couple options, and you need those couple options to be along with you.
Yeah.
Now, there are a number of startup drivetrain folks, but then you're talking about having those drivetrains get credibility and being really high-end bikes, and people be willing to say, I'm not going to do SRAM or Shimano.
Yeah.
And that's a really long putt. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious about that. I agree. I think we're probably still a few years away, but
I'd love it, though.
it's coming.
Yep.
What did you love about the new Factor?
I just like that they're pushing the envelope in design a bit.
Yeah.
It's probably not a bike that would fit me at all, but I don't know. I like that they're doing it, and they're doing it in a UCI compliant way, but they're really pushing hard on the direction they're going.
Yeah. It's a little too weird looking for me.
Yeah.
The forks being so wide is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
weird.
You're more of a traditionalist, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It just doesn't have much sex appeal, so we'd say in the business.
Yeah.
What we say in the business.
The bike business.
Chad's business. Business of Chad's brain.
What's your last?
My last prediction is that this will be the last time you can do predictions. And the reason is Polymarket, Kalshi, now as of yesterday, FanDuel, are all with their prediction markets making predictions impossible to do because everything will be pre-predicted.
Right.
So there you go. So
you'll know the odds.
This is the last time.
You'll know the odds of everything.
You know it, and not only the odds of everything, whereas like you knew the odds of sports betting. Mm-hmm. Now you know the odds of whether or not some random thing's going to happen that has nothing to do with sports or even business. Like you know.
Yeah, it's like I wonder on Polymarket right now if you or FanDuel, you could go on and say what are the odds Tadej Pogacar does?
I wouldn't be surprised it's
Tour
already on there.
Yeah. Huh, I'll check that out.
You should add it.
Oh yeah.
And see.
Is that how that works? You can just add one?
Yeah. And then it starts trending. You got to get enough interest. It's fascinating.
And then do you make money off of it?
It depends on how good you are at predicting.
So you're making the prediction that other people are betting either with or against it. Okay.
Yeah. Huh. And you're deciding if you
we
want to
don't
bet
need to
in.
get into gambling.
Yeah.
No gambling.
I looked at on Kalshi. Yeah, no, it's prediction, not gambling. I looked at Kalshi today, and there's maybe it was that or Polymarket, and there's somebody that has like 2.2 million in successful bets.
Wow. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Successful
good.
predictions.
Prediction. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
Okay, that's a big one. No more.
I have another prediction,
episodes.
but I feel like it's too morbid, so I won't say it.
Oh, go ahead. Morbid's fine.
That's what everyone expects from you to finish the podcast.
It's a hopeful prediction, but
A morbidly hopeful.
well, it's the hope against.
Well, it can be morbid, but her hope.
No.
This is a little insight
It's a
into
hope.
Nikki. Here
It's
you
a
go.
hope to curb the morbid stuff that happens in the world. I don't feel like there's any reason why AI, drones, and detection devices can't secure events better. Like, I think we're already starting to see it, but an AI drone should be able to spot a guy on a rooftop with a gun easily. You know what I mean? Like, and just boop, like take him out or secure the person in some sort of way.
Yeah.
There's no reason that schools shouldn't have just drones floating around them so a kid can't just walk into the back of the school and it's relying upon one officer to deal with it. I feel like we have to be getting to that point where schools and events and all these things are so much safer because the technology is just so good at just finding those detection points or like predicting that there could, like watching some, maybe it's like I think if you were to study the pattern of an individual that's going to do something nefarious at an event, their body language and their movement pattern is probably very different than the average movement pattern that the person that most people in a crowd are making. And so I feel like there has to be technology coming to like detect that very quickly and either alert someone to come take that person or eliminate the situation in some sort of way.
Wow.
So it's not morbid. It's a hopeful prediction of like,
yeah.
I hope we can start seeing less tragedy.
Yeah.
That's
That's pretty good one. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Yeah, I think it's probably there.
yeah, I think it has to be getting there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's more of the scale than anything, just
yeah.
paying for all that. But
We've got a lot of people with a lot of money in this country.
that's true.
Well, we have Flock here in Atlanta, and they ride the rail of, are we creating a police state or are we help catching somebody who murdered somebody at Brown University? You know, like there's both there, and they would be a company that would be well positioned to do exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
What do they do?
So they set up cameras on like corners, and cities and HOAs will contract with them, and they correlate all of the license plates so you know where everybody moved in a city, which is incredible until it's used in a bad way by a police state or something. So it's a really good technology if it helps you catch bad guys, and it's a really bad technology if it's used inappropriately.
Yeah.
It's a razor's edge.
That's everything though. Like as innovations,
100%.
it's everything.
Yeah, that's right.
But hopefully I'm hopeful that we'll use it.
I mean, AI is that way. It can, and in fact, I think it's incumbent upon people who want to use AI for good to really push the envelope, because AI is already being used and will continue to be used for evil, and it will be an arms race, and you need the good guys fighting the bad guys.
100%. And it's like the internet too. Like people use the internet for really bad things, but now
Look what,
we're at a point where there's a lot of really smart people using it for good things to combat the bad things. So I think there's always going to hopefully be like the scales of balance of brilliant people trying to right the wrongs.
Why does your sweatshirt say boba?
I'm glad you asked.
Do you like boba tea?
Boba Fett?
Thank you. Both of you are correct. So when you have a grandkid, that grandkid has to call you something. And I, as a fan of Star Wars, and also as someone who understands what phonetics a little kid can say early, chose my own grandpa name. So my grandpa name is Boba. So that, and it goes with Boba T as in trainer. So it all works out.
Wow.
And so Adeline and Bennett know me as Boba. And I'm not saying I'm a genius, but it was like the third or fourth word that both of them said was Boba.
Wow.
They ask, when do we get to see Boba? They love Boba. And so I'll see Adeline across a parking lot when we get to a restaurant, and she'll start screaming, Boba, Boba, and waving. And so, so that's exactly why. So I have it on my, this is my Sydney Tracksmith sweatshirt that I wore. I wore Tracksmith just in honor of Nikki.
Yeah.
And it's from me doing the Sydney Marathon. And that's the only major I've done. So you've done one and I've done one, right? And so I got Boba. You get to, when you go to the pop-up, you'll get something put on it. And I figured I'll get Boba put on it.
I love that.
That's cool.
So,
yeah. In fact, I will tell you the happiest moment of my life that I can really know vividly. It had a bunny hop element to it, so we'll bring it back to the bunny hop.
Okay.
So I got, thanks to a fellow coworker back at Wahoo when I was there, Corey, he talked me into getting a kids ride shotgun seat, which is a seat that is for mountain bikes. I think it's out of Australia maybe, that sits on your top tube. And it allows you to have a young child in between your arms while you're riding.
Yep.
And Adeline, who I've always pulled in the Thule, I now had her on my mountain bike, and we were riding, and she was wearing her Eevee outfit. She was like an Eevee princess riding on a mountain bike with wind flowing, and taking the view of the bike from behind my rear end in a trailer to everything you see around you.
Yeah.
She was delighted and loved it. And did ask this Christmas for me to get her a bike, which I got her a Woom, so she got a push bike.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm going to graduate her up. She thinks riding bikes equals spending time with Boba, so I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
And we were popping wheelies that somebody told her was a bunny hop, so now she wants to bunny hop. Can we bunny hop? It's not really bunny hop because I can't get my fat butt off the ground, but I can pop a wheelie, and she loves it. There you go.
That's
so
awesome.
cute.
Every time
love
I
that.
see a kid in one of those, I always think that kid's going to grow up riding bikes.
Yeah, like it's going
because
to be
they
so
get to
fun.
see
They love it.
like what it's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's so much more engaging. And they already liked the trailer, and now, now that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for doing this. Anything else?
This is great. No. This was
You
awesome.
Got everything in.
I got everything
Thanks
in.
for
Yeah.
putting all the work into the
Yeah,
productions.
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that,
There for
especially
you.
to close out the year. And then what I think we need to do is we need to make sure we revisit these in December 2026.
I've got them.
See how good we
I
are.
have my note taking app. I'll ask AI whether I got them right.
I'm gonna get AI just to do a transcript of the podcast.
Oh, that's good. And save it, yeah.
and create it for us. So
That's a really good
Imagine
idea.
like what we thought AI was a year ago when I made my predictions. You made yours.
Yeah.
And what has happened in a year. And my eyes have opened up, and I can't imagine what I'm going to think about the world a year from now. It is going so rapidly.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like excited, but also scared.
Yep.
and the great philosopher Drake, what a time to be alive.
Yeah. Great philosopher.
Canadian philosopher.
Those old Canadian philosophers.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
That's right.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this episode.
Yep.
And
otherwise, we'll see you in
we'll see you in.
2026.
Well, this will come out on the 30th. So,
Yeah, I know.
and then the next episode of that will be a new year.
Yep.